good afternoon, good morning, good evening, folks, from wherever you're joining. Thanks for the introduction, Vikas, and I'll make sure that I make this more interesting than the upcoming Baku event. But yeah, let's keep it interactive towards the end. Let's have live Q&A. But the topic for the day, like Vikas said, it's understanding the IT automation using Falcon platform and how the IT and the security convergence really help the organization operationally and from the speed perspective. So with that quick introduction, I'm Sanket. I'm the principal technology strategist, part of the field CTO organization based in Singapore with CrowdStrike for more than 6 years now. The quick agenda for today, I'll take you all through the basics of IT automation, what the tool does, what's the expectation from the tool from both the IT and the security team, how the typical IT automation lifecycle looks like, the challenges today with the silo approach, and finally introducing Falcon for IT and how Falcon can help to converge IT and security together under one platform, talking about the use cases, the key use cases, the problem statement along with the use cases, which will help you to articulate well the overall proposition. And then towards the end, we will take the live Q&A. Now let's quickly understand what exactly is IT automation and how really it is different from an EDR, the security solution EDR. So Falcon for IT, a very simple definition, if I have to define, is it is interrogating the fleet. Like Vikas also said, many of the organizations, they today also struggle to get the ad hoc information, to have a schedule kind of query information across the fleet, and the information or the data can be based on the use cases. And the use cases can come from both the IT and the security team. If I have to give you example, like a typical IT guy would like to understand how many of my machines across the organization are updated with the latest Windows patch or a latest application patch or a Mac particular application on the system. So this could be like an ad hoc query where organization and an IT analyst want to understand how the deployment of an application or the patch is across the endpoint. Or from the security side, a team wants to really hunt for an IOC. So they got an IOC, whether it's a file hash or a file name or it's a registry key, and they want to quickly hunt in the environment across the organization, across the fleet. Either they want to do in an ad hoc fashion, or they would like to schedule it. On the other side, if you talk to an application or a system guy, they would like to understand how many times their application crashed within the endpoint. How was the resource consumption of the machine or the application within the operating system? So these are the few use cases of many. What really how really the IT and the security team go for this particular kind of requirement. And if you look at the IT automation lifecycle, like the few examples which I gave, the overall lifecycle starts with asking a question. So the analyst, whether it's an IT security or a system analyst, they start with asking a question. A simple example you can see on the slide is, show me all the assets that currently contain expired certificates. Once you ask the question, the expected results, the answers will be presented on the UI, which in this case, if you see, there are 55 assets that currently contain the expired certificate. And finally, after receiving an answer, the analysts want to fix the particular problem. So in this case, they want to remove the expired certificate. So the overall IT automation lifecycle starts from asking, answering, and then acting on a particular problem. So that's the typical IT automation lifecycle looks like. But throwing the issue over the wall doesn't work, and problem statement is huge. But over the period of time, what we have seen, that organization, they have deployed more and more endpoints to achieve multiple use cases. in terms of the coverage also, we have not seen organization covering more than 30 to 40% of their fleet to get the proper information or proper data from the IT side of it. And today also a lot of application they crash, and getting an information is not easy. There are few patches which will be failed during the deployment stage, and again getting the updated information, updated dashboard is not very trivial with the complexity of the deployment. What organization they have achieved until today. And because of that, like Vikas also said initially, that the IT and the security, or the IT ops and SecOps, historically, they're always known to work in silo, because the problem is seen from a different lenses, not from a holistic platform view or a holistic lens, where there is today a requirement to converge both IT and the SecOps. So today, the only bridge between IT and SecOps, you can see on the slide also, is either through a common ticketing channel or through a log management kind of solution, or SIEM kind of solution. But this really not helped in the past organization to really get the information on time, have a better operational efficiency, and there is always an interdependency between IT and security team, which creates a lot of delay in getting the information. And speed is the only thing which counts in today's digital world. So both IT and security, they want to be faster in terms of getting the information, in terms of fixing the issue. So because of the complexity of the deployment and the silo nature of the IT ops and the SecOps, the expected speed is not being achieved in the IT ops and the SecOps. So to solve that problem of convergence, CrowdStrike, we were always known for one of the best cybersecurity platform, or I should say one of the best cybersecurity endpoint delivered platform. And couple of years back, we thought that that IT and the security convergence is the ask of an hour. By that I mean is because after talking to multiple customers, and the SecOps and the IT ops team, they always have the dependency, and there is always an interdependency between the team. For example, for certain information, if SecOps team requires an IT data, they have to really open a ticket, contact the IT team. By the time they get the data, it's too late. And it's also the other way around in the few of the use cases. So Falcon for IT technically is exactly solving that problem using the same agent, the same EDR agent of CrowdStrike, and using the same cloud platform. So technically, for all the CrowdStrike EDR customer, they don't have to do any deployment. So tomorrow, if they want to enable this particular license, it's just enabling the license, and it's the same UI with a different menu item, and it's the same agent which will perform all the activities right from the ask. So the same UI analysts can use, and both IT and security analysts can use, asking the question on the same UI or the dashboard. They will receive the response for the question, and using the same UI, they can quickly select the host where they want to fix the issue. So it's absolutely from the Falcon platform, using the same sensor and using the same cloud platform. Now, if you look at the critical use cases, both from the IT and the security side, starts with the IT operation. And like I was saying, if you ask an IT ops guy, his use cases would be understanding the deployment of patch in the environment, whether it's an operating system patch, whether it's a application patch. And Vikas also gave a very good, shared a good use case around if today IT team wants to understand how many of the machines are running Windows 7 or Windows 11, it will be very different answer on different UI for many different different reasons, and there is no consolidated answer on one platform. So IT ops team, they want to understand how their fleets are behaving from the patch perspective, the application perspective, if they want to really continuously run a query to understand a particular security agent or an app is installed on all the machine. there is no straightforward way today for an IT team to have a consolidated view on one single dashboard. So that's from the IT ops. Similarly, from the compliance side of it, even both the security and the IT compliance, say if an organization, they have a compliance of N-1, N-2 Windows patch or N-1 Windows operating system. So it's not very trivial today using one single dashboard for team to create those kind of compliance dashboard around the registry key, the application, the Windows operating system, or any other Linux or Mac operating system version, the current deployed patch, or the application version installed on all the machines. So it's not very trivial today, looking at the complexity of the deployment, for customer to create those compliance dashboard on a single UI. Coming to the security is the forensic investigation. So today, if a SecOps team is investigating any incident or detection, and they want a system related information, whether it's a crash log or a system performance, or if this particular vulnerability is patched or not on the machine, I mean, it's again not very easy for SecOps team to, or without interacting with IT ops team, to get that information. So these are the few use cases using a unified platform, unified agent, and the UI Falcon for IT is providing to all the CrowdStrike customers. If you look at a workflow example, how typically the workflow works, right from creating a dashboard, getting a data, investigating and fixing the issue. It's a very movable workflow slide, where the first one was showing the dashboard. Anyways, don't worry, I have a detailed slide on each and every use case, but it starts from building those compliance dashboard, and customers can absolutely customize their dashboard. We have out of the box dashboard, and customers can create their own compliance dashboard. One is on the dashboard side, which regularly gets updated, which you can see on the slide now. And the second is asking the ad hoc questions or ad hoc query, getting a response, fixing the issue. And the third is scheduling scheduling few tasks which they want a response very regularly. Like, say, for example, one of the customer I was presenting this solution, they asked me, can I schedule a query across the fleet to check a particular software being deployed on the machines, probably a security agent or a security software. So every Friday afternoon, they want to run a query, automatically get the result and share it over the Slack or the email, or via some kind of ticketing tool, the machine which are not complying to that particular requirement, and with a expected response. So that's how the workflow works on Falcon for IT using the Falcon platform or UI. But if you go a bit deeper dive, that how a power user experience looks like when they use Falcon for IT. The power user can be an IT user, can be a system user, can be a security user. So a user starts with asking a question using a query. We are using an open source query language, and to make this solution operational friendly and very easy for customers to use. The solution by default comes with close to around 150 queries in the library. So the default library is around 150, which is really increasing continuously as and when we find a particular query interesting and used by many customers, we add that in the default list. So one is the solution itself comes with quite a bit the default queries, and after taking a feedback from the largest of the customer where we have deployed this solution, the feedback is very positive for the default queries what we provide. And I mean, one of the customer, he gave us the feedback that my 85% of the job is being done by just your default queries. And on top of that, we also give option to customize the query. Customer can write their own query based on their requirement. And later in the presentation, I will share the use case that how using a generative AI LLM model, we are helping customer to create a query using a natural language. So coming back to this slide, a power user can select any of the query for which for which the user is or analyst is looking for a response. Click on the search, and across the fleet quickly, wherever the Falcon agent is deployed, the query will be sent and the response will be on the same UI, what you can see on the slide. Now, the query was to get all the users, all the local users within the machines. So once the response is on the dashboard, then quickly, the analyst can do the investigation before it fixes. So one of the use case, from the hunting side, so the earlier use case, if you see, could be for an IT team, could be for the security team to understand the local users in the machine. But if you look at very security specific use case in the recent past, early this year, there was a supply chain kind of an attack by misusing the XZutil, a particular library in a specific Linux distro. So it was a Linux supply chain kind of an attack, which really impacted many distros globally. And there was a CVE and the notification around it. So quickly, Falcon for IT customer, what they can do in this kind of scenario is they know from the blog or from the CVE, from the notification, that what the CVE is, what the vulnerability is, and how I can search in my environment around that particular vulnerability. Same with the log4j. So this kind of security use cases, when there is a new global notification and the team wants to understand how their fleet is as per the current exposed vulnerability, they can just write a custom query. And like I said, later I will share how easy it is to use AI to write a query for you. But in this case, you can see to search for XZutil in the Linux environment, quickly one query gave the response across the Linux fleet in the organization. Now, like I said, from the ad hoc query, customer can also schedule the particular task or the specific task. So if they have a requirement to continuously search for something, whether it's a registry key or a Linux library or a binary or a Mac application, they can just schedule the query, and continuously the query will run as per the schedule time, and the results will be sent as a notification to the analyst. So this really helped to use one single platform, not from the security only use cases, but also from the IT schedule query, where they can schedule the repetitive task for which the analyst is expecting a continuous response. Now, once the results are populated on the UI, like I said, after investigating, the next thing is analysts would like to respond to the results and fix those machines. So it's just selecting the host from the result and using the same RTR quick action. In the backend, we are using RTR because that's one of the best real-time response capability within the CrowdStrike platform, and all the EDR customers, they have the RTR within the platform. So using the same RTR quick action, after selecting the host, analysts can select the default available remediation action, like moving a file or removing a file, run an executable, or delete or update a registry key value. Today, in the version 1, there are only few quick actions available, but more to come in future, because that we are using our own RTR, and RTR is quite powerful technically on Windows, Mac, and Linux machine. Customers can add or write their own PowerShell or Bash query based on the operating system. So soon we're gonna have more out of the box and the custom action as part of Falcon for IT. So technically, it's the same UI to run any ad hoc query, to create a schedule query, get the result on the dashboard, select the machines where you want to fix the issue, and just click on the quick action and initiate the action from the same UI. And you will see at each and every stage the status of the query. So once you run a query, you will see the status of the query, how many machine failed to respond, whether they were offline or for some other reason. And even for the action, you will have the full audit logs, because we are using RTR in the background. So you will have the full audit logs on the IT Falcon for IT related actions taken by the analyst. Talking about AI, I mean, generative AI is really helping the IT and the team and the security team globally with many different use cases. Generative AI is all about natural language, bringing in natural language to improve the operational efficiency for both IT and the security team. And Charlotte AI, we released the official Charlotte AI early this year in January, where Charlotte AI has different use cases based on what subscription module customer has, right from the detection to discover. We extended Charlotte AI for Falcon for IT a couple of months before. And what that means is an analyst can use a natural English language to generate the query or Falcon for IT query. So like I said before, we are using a open source schema within Falcon for IT. And with Charlotte for IT customer, they don't have to learn any language. So they can just using a vanilla English, a plain English natural language, they can ask Charlotte AI the logic, and Charlotte AI will translate that English logic into the query language. And they can use, or customer or analyst can use the query for ad hoc search or scheduled search based on their requirement. So it really simplifies the customization of the query or ask stage for the analyst and the customer. So again, just to quickly summarize what the IT automation lifecycle, how the IT automation lifecycle looks like before I open for Q&A. The IT automation lifecycle starts with an ask stage, asking a question, getting a response for the ask question or a schedule query, and then acting on it by fixing the issue. And Falcon for IT, using the same platform, same Falcon EDR sensor and the UI, it helps to converge the IT and the security use cases together with the same UI for analysts to ask the question, get the response, act on it, to schedule the query, and using the Charlotte AI to use or to generate a customized query using a natural English language. So like I said before, this will be a quick session, but I want this to be more interactive, and I want to take a live Q&A.